Hey friends, my name is Jen. I'm here from TELUS World of Science Edmonton, and I brought one of my good friends here at the Science Centre to visit with us today. Hey, so we're here at Iggy's terrarium here in the Nature Exchange at TELUS World of Science Edmonton. And so, as you can see, our bearded dragon, Iggy, is hanging out on his sunning rock. So he's getting a little heat, which is something that bearded dragons really like. And so, being a bearded dragon, of course, what type of animal do you think a bearded dragon might be? I mean, is he a dragon, right? Are dragons a thing? Are they real? Do dragons exist in real life? Could he be, I don't know, is he a mammal? Does he have fur? No, I don't think so. He's got pretty scaly skin. I think I can safely say that he's not a bird. I don't see any wings on Iggy there. So what does that leave us with? So he's got scaly skin, he really likes the heat. So I think that puts him in the group of animals called reptiles. And so reptiles are a really funky, really cool group of animals that they're called ectothermic. And so what that word means, ectothermic, it means that they like to they can't produce their own body heat on their own. They actually need to move around and search for heat or energy in their environment in order to warm up. So that's why Iggy is hanging out on his sun rock there. It's because he can't produce his own heat, is he has to kind of find it out. Now the interesting thing about Iggy's terrarium is he actually has two different types of heat lamps. So he has a really warm one over here, and that's for when he gets really chilly. And then he has kind of a lower temp one over here on the side where he likes to hang out when he's feeling pretty chill and good to go. So if he ever got really too hot, he could always come and drink some water and hang out in his bath water there. Or it's not his bath water, but sometimes he just, he dives right in. So, but that basically means that no matter what, Iggy, however he's feeling, he can move around his terrarium to get different temperatures based on how he's feeling. So that no matter what, he can always feel comfortable and at home in his terrarium. We're going to look at a couple of cool adaptations or special things that bearded dragons like Iggy have that are clues to telling us what kind of habitat or environment they're best suited for living in. So one of the things we can look at is his skin. So it's pretty scaly, like a lot of reptiles have scaly skin. It's pretty rough. So because it's pretty dry and rough and scaly, I would probably expect that bearded dragons, do you think they live in a wet environment all of the time, around water and moisture and humidity? Or do you think they're better suited for dry environments, like that have no humidity and very dry and probably hot? So looking at his rough skin, I would probably guess that he comes from a dry environment. Animals from wet environments tend to have smoother and slicker skin and kind of moist skin as well. So another clue we can look at on his toes, you can see he's got some pretty good claws. Typically, animals that like to dig a lot, like bunnies and things like that, they might have digging claws. But these, they're kind of skinny, so they might not be really good for shoveling dirt. So why would they have those claws? They're not really strong or thick claws, so they're probably not used for grabbing onto prey. And we also know that he eats insects, so probably not for grabbing onto those. So the only thing left for us is, as you can kind of see here, he's holding onto my leg, and we see these kinds of claws in animals that like to climb up trees or shrubs or up on top of rocks. So these are climbing claws. So we know that the environment beardies like to live in are probably environments that have things that they can climb on. So that's another clue. The other thing that can help us out is the fact that our bearded dragon has really nice, robust eyelids. So let's see if, I don't want to poke him in the eye, but if I come close, I wonder if he'll close his eye. No, he's too trusting. But when he closes his eye, it actually, or his eyelid, it protects his eye from anything that might be on the outside. So if you're in an environment that's really hot and dry and dusty, then you probably want really good eyelids to keep all of that stuff out, because eyes are really, really sensitive, as I'm sure you know. So all of those clues tell us that he probably comes from a hot, dry environment with shrubs and things that he can climb on. So bearded dragons, like Iggy, actually come from the outback of Australia. So there are tons and tons of bearded dragons that live in the outback of Australia, and they're not really considered to be pets often there because they're so common, but over here in North America, they are a pretty common house pet. Iggy and other bearded dragons are omnivorous, which means that, do you remember from school, you learned about this, that they're also, so it means that they eat plants, and they also like to eat meat. Now, in the case of bearded dragons, it's actually kind of neat because it's not just they'll eat small little, like very, very teeny tiny animals, but they'll also eat a lot of different kinds of insects. So things like beetles and crickets and mealworms. Oh, they love those. However, just like probably many of you, Iggy is not typically super happy to eat his fresh greens. He is definitely more excited to eat the sweet things, and his protein is meats. So we've made a delicious salad for Iggy, and hopefully we can entice him to eat some of the salad today. So we have some yam in there. It looks like we have some kale, some applesauce, some apples, and we're even going to try out some dried flowers with him today. So hopefully we can get him to eat his salad, his greens, because they're really good for him. And that's it for today for Feeding Friday. And hopefully you learned a lot about bearded dragons and Iggy. I know he had a great time, and I know he's excited for everybody to come back when we reopen, that you'll come and visit him for our animal encounters. Next week, at the same time on Friday, we are going to be doing another Feeding Friday with our very good friend Tony, the Tiger Salamander. So if you have any burning questions about tiger salamanders, about Tony specifically, or maybe some questions about the video you saw today, please leave us a comment below, or you can also send us questions via Twitter using the hashtag Feeding Fridays. Thanks everyone.